All right, here goes nothing. It's May 5th. It's 3:45 p.m. This is What's Up Dave, my daily stream where I talk to my friends on the internet. Catch up with what we're doing. It's also an extension of the virtual co-working chat in my blog. You can find the virtual co-working chat at davidsay.com/virtual-co-working. And I am just verifying that we have audio going. Take a moment. Looks like we have levels here. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's working. So what are we doing today? Let me switch to the desktop chat mode and see what we've got in here. I said... Yeah, so I'm going to do some show and tell, some stuff I got. Yesterday was May the 4th, which was Star Wars Day, so I went to try to do my diligent shopping for Star Wars merchandise, and it was kind of disappointing. I went to this local high-end AV place that had a lot of stuff going on, but it was just too crowded, and I couldn't actually tell who was a store owner or a store representative and who was a customer. Everyone was very super casual. But I might go back there like later because it actually looked like an actual high-end audio place that had a lot of interesting gear. So it's just like looking at that stuff. But then I went to Newbury Comics, which in New England is one of those local comic book places, and I got another Millennium Falcon shirt. So adding to the collection of nerdy shirts that don't, well, I guess I like more graphic ones rather than ones that are, stuffed with words and stuff like that. Speaking of nerdy shirts, apparently I'm wearing my Black Sun t-shirt, which is from Firefly. All right, so that's out of the way. What else are we talking about? Well, this is an interesting What's Up Dave because usually I do these in the morning before I start work. This morning was I went to the tire swap place, or the tire store where I got my tires, and swap the snow tires for the regular season tires. And so I got up really early in the morning to get there to beat everybody else there because the tire store gets really busy, and you end up waiting like a couple of hours. But because of that, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night and was really sleepy. I did manage to do a little bit of work, mostly just updating my Patreon website. And I guess I can show what that looks like. If you've been watching these, you know I've been working on the Emerging Task Planner updates. Let's see where this is. And so, I was just letting people know on Patreon who have been supporting me. Thank you, supporters, that this thing is coming, and I'm going to release the updated version for testing for people who are patrons in the supporting me on Patreon. Patreon is a cool site, so I'm kind of playing with it. It's nice to play around with. Am I supporting that many? Of course, I can never figure out how this thing works. How do I see my own stuff? Yeah, so that's not it. I still need to make this video. I forgot completely about that. Where's all the posts? Posts? I guess I'm not in love with the site. So I just posted this thing this morning. And then I started working on my Groundhog Day resolutions, which would be still a draft. I have until midnight to get this thing out. So, oops, that's not what I wanted. This is my WordPress backend. So here's the draft. So I managed to eke out some thoughts on this before absolutely crashing. I had gone to the Starbucks after the tire store just to get some writing in, because I knew if I went home I would just fall immediately asleep. But yeah, that was the day. So now, anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, this is 3:45 p.m. and I haven't actually started my day yet. I woke up about an hour ago, well, maybe 2 o'clock or something like that. And so this is a prime opportunity opportunity to experiment with how do you start the day when the day has already been screwed. So I think partly it's a matter of attitude, having a good attitude about the day that, it's recoverable. Oh, the camera's still back there. Let me go move that. So I'm trying to maintain a chipper attitude about getting some work done before the weekend starts. And I think the work that I want to work on today is the interactive stuff. If I get an hour, well, okay, I'm not even going to say an hour. I'm going to say if I can get 15 minutes of work on that, I'll consider myself having done my diligence. And if I still feel like working then I can still keep working. But first order of business, I think, is to first order of business is to make another emergent task planner sheet. So I'll print that out in a second. All right, so let's see, what am I doing? Well, I need to go to, do I have a webcam plus desktop view? I guess I do. So the first thing to do would be to pull up Illustrator, which I guess I don't do it this way. So I got Illustrator going. Oh, I didn't ever type in here. And recording belated. What's up, Dave? Showing. So here's Illustrator. Let me go to the this desktop view so I can see things. Oh yes. I was having some focus issues earlier on, around 2. Like I was just like literally fuzzy-headed. Literally fuzzy-headed? No, I mean I was metaphorically fuzzy-headed. And metaphorically? I had trouble focusing. And it was like my attention just would not sit on anything. And then, but thinking about like, what is this feeling? Where have I felt this before? I realized that I might just be really dehydrated. So I drank like 16 ounces of water and then a little bit of coffee. Actually, I feel much better. Dehydration will do you in. So let me see. Is there any changes I want to make to this today? I do want to eventually address this text. Let's see if there's some refinements to that. But I don't think there's anything today that I really need to do. 1 and 6, reserve some energy for tomorrow. I've started using these areas a little bit differently. This top has always been the three main tasks for today. This one is kind of the stretch goals. Got other things? Got other things to do? Clear your mind and go for it. And then with more than 6 major tasks, instead of like putting the reminder to reserve some energy, which is still important, these might be speculative. Or how would I phrase this? Because you could purposely put fun things in there. Or you could got other here I want to say move your goals forward. Realistic expectations. At the time I wrote realistic expectations equals consistent daily productivity. That was a generalism. At the time I designed this, like it was having too many I expected things to go much quicker. I thought I could do a lot more tasks than I really could. Realistic. So in that sense, these other 4, these are bonus tasks. Yeah. Feeling extra productive. Yeah. Got more than 6 tasks? Prioritize. Here I might want to say something about the realist. I wanted to say something about more. If there's more than 6 tasks, you don't want. I want to put the realistic expectations. Remember, realistic expectations. I just kind of want to. Sounds maybe a little preachy. Realistic expectations. What do I want to say here? More insist tasks. Conserve your energy for tomorrow. Remember to conserve energy for tomorrow. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. And so for this one, yeah. Your most important the jobs, work that contributes most to your priority three main interests. Instead of main, should I say priority? Yeah. Do the work that contributes most to your priorities, your real priorities. Oops. What font is this? This is bold. Real priorities may not be specific enough. Do the work that contributes most to your, that will contribute, actually contributes the wrong term, that returns the most benefit. Most benefit. Ultimately returns the greatest benefit. Leads to this should be bold. I don't know how well people think about this. It's kind of a rephrasing. 3 main tasks for today. Prioritize the work that ultimately leads to the greatest benefits. That's kind of considering. Feeling extra energetic? What else is going on today? Life just happens. Keep track of tomorrow's tasks or today's emergent of tomorrow's emerging tasks. Not keep track. Note, remember, keep track of new tasks for tomorrow. Take notes. And other things to remember. Things? Is there another word for things? Keep track of new tasks for tomorrow and other remember, take note. Take notes on tasks, or tomorrow's tasks, and other useful information, other helpful information. And other take notes on tomorrow. Take notes and other track information. Keep notes additional tasks and other information. Take tracks here to keep track of emerging tasks. I don't really have something that says what this day grid is. Though there is something up here. Use the day grid. Yeah, let's see. Pick tasks. Write down tasks. Write in tasks. Use day grid to schedule using fill in to mark time used. Add notes as necessary. Anywhere. All right. Feeling extra at it? Add a few more. Then clear your mind and go for it. That does work. Few more chores. Clear your mind and go for it. It's taking a little bit long. More than 6 chores? Merging tasks. Keep notes here. All right, so that's today's refinement. This took longer than I thought it would. But at least I got a little bit of work done. It's important to get this thing going. How much time are we in now? 21 minutes. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time going on this. It's 4 p.m., but at least my mind is working, and I've done something that's important to me. So let me run down and grab that form. Hey, kitty. Oh, I didn't show yesterday's big news was taking the cat to the vet. And he had like this solidified piece of cat poo stuck to his butt. He's a long-haired cat, so like it was actually kind of a big problem. And he had to get an emergency lion cut. Kate, what are you doing? Kate, of course, had nothing to do with this. She kept hissing at him when he came back. Let's see if we can get a picture of the kitty on the screen. I'll put that there. Kitty, you want to show us your line cut? Hey, sweetie. Don't be scared. There's Cat. He is Cat with a K. Is he showing up there? I can't tell. There's Cat. Hey, kitty. Are you being a good kitty? Look, you have no hair. You're a hairless kitty now. Well, not really. You have less hair. So you can see at the top of here, this is regular strip. Oh, this other part is shaved. Look at his tail. It's got a little tuft on it. But he is much happier now. Before his back fur was quite matted. And it was a real problem. I couldn't even brush it anymore. So this fixed that issue. Let's get this back over here. And fill out the rest of this and then get down to work. So, what time is it now? It's 3:45. So I guess I'm just going to start this here. So I'm going to say, well, I can actually do a split. So I got up around 5 o'clock this morning. That's when I woke up. 6, 7, 8, 9. So this was like, tossing and turning. I draw these symbols here to indicate that it was kind of like fuzzy-headed time. Just swirls. And then, actually, because I woke up way earlier than I was supposed to, couldn't fall back to sleep again. This was all swirly time. And then I woke up, got out of bed, moved tires to car, drive to tire store, tire store here. Then I was at Starbucks. So about 10. Also, I did do Patreon post. Work on GHDR post. Then I slept. And so this would go down to, I woke up around, I think it was like 2:30 or 2 p.m. or rather 14 o'clock. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 9. So I basically skipped a bunch of hours here. So I went from 9 to 14, which you're allowed to do. So then here, sleep. I have a symbol for sleep. I think it's this. Just make these things coming out. I guess I could teach this the code to other people who are using this. And then what they do? Right now it's 4:12. I started this 26 minutes ago, so it's 4:12. So here I was just kind of fuzzy-headed. Rehydrated. And then prep for the stream. And 4:15. This is 15s now. And then we're wedding. I shouldn't have put that line there. So this the big main task today was the tire swap. I had to do that today because Saturday that place is packed, and I need to do a long drive. So I wanted to have the regular season tires on, because the snow tires will be fine, but in warmer weather they just wear down faster, so it's a big waste of money. Tire swap, GHDR review is a big thing for today. I did the Patreon post plus social media. The next thing I want to do is I want to do some iStuff architecture. That would be my big push. Might as well check that off. Or this is not done yet. So what else I need to do? That's really it. So if I can get this done by 6, actually the day isn't as bad as I thought it was. I actually did. You get a lot of chores done, although there were some fuzzy-headednesses that were involved as well. And I'm looking now at these little numbers down at the bottom here. And I'm wondering if maybe, okay, this one needs to go. And I kind of want to make these bolder. Or maybe put dots between them. I mean, you can ignore them too. You don't need to use them. Maybe I can just drop these dots here. There are these. I wonder if they should line up too. I'm just noticing that they don't line up. I guess that's okay. That might be what's bothering me though. Let's try something. And go back to, since I realized I have a little bit more time than I thought I did, now I'm going to play a little bit more. So the thought I had was this. I was looking at this dot here, and I was thinking, that doesn't really look that aligned to me. And I'm also not really happy with these. So I'm wondering if maybe I put them in their own thing to the side. So if I grab these, where is this anyway? This is the text line. This shouldn't even be here. Let's call this text or additional numbers. X there, put that there, and I'm going to lock that. So I did that so they just don't move. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up these dots here with the same alignment. As the start of that to see what it looks like. It looks like I moved a little bit more than I planned to. And let's get rid of number 25. Oops, it's locked now, so I had to unlock that. And so now this is lining up with that. I think I can move these too. So if I select this, oops, I guess I can't. I can select this, and I can maybe line that up to the side. Maybe that'll look a little bit better. Let's move these guides over here. So these, I forget if these are actually symbols. What is this? Looks like they are. So if I change this, will they all change? I can't tell. Looks like they're not. So let's move these manually each time. Oops. If they are symbols, then they will all move with me. And it looks like they are not, so we will have to move these manually. Or just duplicate them. Let's leave that one there. Leave these two, paste that in place. This one down. And then we'll distribute spaces. Look correct. I'm noticing that the top of this is a little bit taller. I think it's an optical illusion. So now those are lined up, and so we now have this more of a another rhythm set up. That's nice to have. Let's copy that there. Copy. What happened? What I'm doing is I'm using the existing positions of the old ones so I can like reposition these exactly. And then I'm distributing the spaces so the one in the middle is lined up correctly. And okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. I think these I should move to the text. Are there two of these? For some reason I can't. Diagram. Should be additional text. Let's give it a different color. This should have come with it too. For some reason it's locked. Where is that located? Oh. Yeah, so that's a problem. Additional text. So now that's all there. Actually, I'm surprised that this didn't come along either. That's blocked now. Bubbles are its own thing. That's its own thing. Good. All right. Now what? So I should adjust these. So this copy up here, it's snapping to point if you can't see that. Paste in place. We can get rid of this one. I can copy this up here, and the important one is oops, this one. Copy. Paste in place. When we distribute spaces, oh no. When we distribute spaces, and we have a moderately improved looking ATP. These dots are aligned there. These are supposed to be similar to spacing otherwhere. Ugh. What I don't remember is if these are I just screwed it up. I guess that's okay. Now they're not perfectly lined up anymore though. So what I should have done, I had to do that stuff I was just doing all over again. Select this. Where are these located? That's an artwork. Let's move this to the additional text area. Because those get in the way of selections a lot of the time. So those, I should end right there. We'll switch to this so it spreads them. And technically it breaks some of the spacing rules that I have. So these are no longer exactly square, but that might be okay. The distance between these is 12.679. What happens if I do this? 12.679. Actually, I probably should do that with everything. So this, we want the spacing and the gap to be the same, or as close as possible. So now, so this is a true grid then. And now I've screwed these up. These no longer align. Strange. So we need to do that again. So that one's here. I should have made those symbols, but symbols are hard to work with. Or are they? Yes, even assuming this symbol is still actually in use anywhere, I should just delete it. Alright, so we can do this exercise again. Let's change these. Actually, it might be just easier to move them by hand. Yeah, it's easier to move them by hand. Because they're snapping to the guides now. This computer's acting real slow, though. Oh, what happened here? It's horrible scroller in the Macintosh. Pain. right. Will look correct. Yeah, so now these are lining up perfectly. One remaining thing is whether or not these numbers themselves need some adjustment. Are they too small? They've added more space between them to make them a little bit more easy to use for actual writing in of tasks. And whether or not they should be all the way over here. No, actually I looked where they were before. So in the middle of this. So if I select that, this, and then this, and I want this to be the, what happened? This, and then I want this to be the anchor. Will even let me do that? This, then this. Okay. There. Just lining that up. That looks a little weird. I think this can be moved over then. Yeah, this is actually better. I think. Assuming it's not screwed up with this now. It's a little bit different. It's maybe okay. Yeah, I think that's all right. It's very small improvements. I see an issue up here. Let's see if this width is good. Ugh. Terrible selector. I wonder if the date should be on this side. Oh, the reason why I didn't do that was because it doesn't line up with the other side. And it looks like one last thing I'd want to do is this side looks like it's something needs to go there, but I don't know what that will be. This is the 2017 version. Oops, this has a move now too. Did almost miss that. I want to put something there. I don't know what that is though. If I had a logo, I could do something. May need to make a mystery logo. It looks like a frog or something like that. I don't know. Just something kind of weird. But doesn't look stupid. I think that was my first time I used the brush tool. Oh, it's not as good as the flash one was. Alright, so this is like today's iteration on the ETP, cleaning up some line work. Maybe there needs to be a period in front of these too. Got more chores. One nice thing if you can do design is if you're also the editor. Got more chores. Keep track of emerging tasks. I think that's okay. This might be the version I release for public testing next week. Or private testing, I should say. Anyone who's on the Patreon and anyone who's in the chat room at the regular member level or above will get like a version of the sheet to try out. So I think I'm done with that. I think I'm done with work for now. It's got a little bit of additional stuff out of the way. I might as well note it on my ETP. Final tweaks to ETP. We did it on What's Up Dave's between 4:15 and 4:30. Oh wait, is that right? Yep. Okay, this is wood. 4:15. So here, I did ETP 7. So I should come up with a whole annotation system here. I think actually might be kind of cool. Or sell stickers. So anyway, I did that. Cross it out. I did that. Cross it out. Didn't finish GHDRs. Damn it, looked at the iStep architecture. That's the next thing I should do. But before I go, I'm going to close this off with a little bit more show and tell-y type things. In the chat room yesterday, I forgot to talk about this. We were looking at, there was just some links I wanted to share from there. Just really quickly, let me close all this stuff. Quit. So I have them queued up already, so. This was an ad that was pretty cool. This is that Heineken ad that's been going around called, part of their Open Their World campaign. I know it's a beer ad, but it's actually pretty cool about showing two people, a bunch of people who are, two people who are against, have different positions. And this is shot by one of the directors associated with RSA, Ridley Scott and Associates. So it's beautifully edited and put together. Well worth watching. If you find this, if you Google that, you should be able to find it. I won't spoil the whole thing. And then with weirdness things, like if you're a Disney, like Disney stuff, this is a ridiculously over-the-top a cappella medley of Disney songs. It's like one of those ones in which like everyone's singing all the parts, but it's actually really well produced. I think this was related to a Disney release of all the Disney music from all their animated films. So it's pretty. If you like this kind of stuff, like I love the kind of geeky stuff, and then like browsing the internet the other day, I was looking at. Let me switch over here. I was looking at Jack Conte's feed to see if he was like doing any more music. He's like one of the co-founders of Patreon. Has this incredible energy, and so he had posted on his Twitter feed that he had really liked the way that this video had come out in terms of the funkiness. And I was watching it, and this playlist, if you do a search for "What a Girl Wants" Christina Aguilera funk cover from the Scary Pockets channel on YouTube, you can find this. But it's fun to watch the musicians just like do their thing. Like Jack Conte here's on the right, and he's like always, he's always into his music. It's great to see. This is why I like live music. I like to see how the band and the singers go together. And then we were sharing music links like with someone, a new member in the chat room. How do you pronounce his name? Just checking over here. It's I want to say looks like he left for the day. Oh no, it's Madras. Madras? Is that right? You might have changed it. Yeah. So, and this is like one of my favorite, like covers. We were talking about covers. I didn't even know this song. Nowhere though. It's like one of my favorite odd pop plus something else bands. I think this got started because we had come across, like, we were comparing unusual covers of pop songs, and like there was this jazz version of "Toxic," a Britney Spears song, and I was kind of trying to get my head around this. I mean, it's such a different song. And at first I wasn't into it, but then after a while, just kind of like something kind of clicked about it. So that's fun. All these links are in the chat room, in the link dump section. Well, I guess I was going to look at my pictures too to see if there was anything interesting in the past few days. Oh, shaving the cat. You get to see the poor kitty getting shaved. That's what a sheared cat looks like. There was this giant chunk that came off. It was all matted together. And poor kitty. Here's what he looks like afterwards. You can see he's all like bald over there. But it's extra cute. He seems fine now, much happier. He can now successfully lick his ass without things pulling or being stuck there, which is healthy for everybody involved. Well, that's today's What's Up, Dave. It's 4:30 p.m. This has been going on for about an hour. I guess these are getting longer. So these may be replacements for some of the virtual co-working things. Put this on the background and see, I guess, get caught up with stuff. But it's the weekend. I probably won't be doing anything the weekend. Unfortunately, it's going to be raining all weekend. So I don't know if this is going to work, but you can see it's raining. Smoker has a cover on it. There's not going to be any smoking this weekend. I suppose it'll be rainy tomorrow as well. But maybe Sunday will be clear. That'll be better. So have a good weekend. If I don't stream then, I'll see you on Monday. Another week. The theme will probably be, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But have a good weekend, and I will see you soon.